welcome to AaronOnAutos.com. This is Aaron, and today we're doing a shaky cam interior review of a 2015 Sierra 1500 Denali. This is GMC's top flight half-ton pickup truck. Has almost literally everything in it. There's a fair amount of stuff to cover inside this truck, so let's get started with it. Starting over here, we have what you would expect, the windows here, door locks, and side mirrors and whatnot. And over here I want to show you these. This is the child safety lock, so it locks the rear doors and doesn't allow them to be open from the inside. And this of course is the window lock, so that nobody can roll up and down their windows except you. And mirror controls over here. This folds the mirrors in right in the center there. And then you have seat memory settings up here. This is your trailering and four-wheel drive controls. So this is your trailer control. So here you set the brake intensity. Here you can you just squeeze this to use the brakes. Here you have your four-wheel drive control. You can put it into auto, which I have used, and it does a pretty good job deciding which to be in. You can force it into 4 high and 4 low. I'll show you some more stuff that has to do with the four-wheel drive in a minute. It's pretty cool. Over here, here's your light intensity on the inside. Here's the headlights. Automatic headlights on this one. I've been basically just using those. I haven't turned the other ones on other than to make sure that the controls are what I thought they were. Here you have, of course, a big vent. Then we have the instrument cluster and your steering wheel. So let's look at the steering wheel first. Over here you have your cruise control settings. This has collision warnings and stuff, and heated steering. Over here, this stuff controls that up there, the big screen. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And your phone. So pretty simple stuff. You go back and forth, up and down, and you select with this. I'll show you a little more about that in a second here. All right, over here, your shifter. When you're in manual mode, so you pull it all the way to the right to go to manual, and then you shift up and down right here. Over here is your lighting and your windshield wipers. So you use this to run the windshield wipers, squirters and whatnot, and then you up and down and usual for your turn signals. So over here you have RPM gauge there, speedo on the other side. And then across the top here we have some gauges. So you see you have your oil, your water temperature, fuel, and voltage. And then this is a compass. Now this screen here is, it changes. So you can see right now I have it looking at the trip. I've put 388.5 miles on this truck this week. Average speed was 32 miles a gallon, or 32 miles per hour. Average fuel economy 17.3 mpg. Now you can flip through. You can see with the amount of fuel we have in the tank, we have about 149 miles of driving left. You can see here's the remaining oil life. Here's your tire pressures. They're a little bit low because it was cold overnight. They'll go back up as this gets driven on the highway. Here's the average for the last 50 miles. I've been going off of this for my MPG numbers because I switch a lot. So when I did the off-road and stuff, I don't want to include that in my overall assessment because it's not really fair to the truck. So you can see here my average was 16 miles a gallon. The best I did was 28.2. That was probably a downhill. So used 317.2 gallons since the the trip was last set. And here's the current speed limit. Here's the current gain and the trailer braking. So you can use this when you're trailering. I didn't really use this screen when I was trailering because I didn't really need it. The info wasn't as useful as the next screen I'm going to show you, which is this one. This screen shows you your pitch and your yaw and all of that. So it shows you the same gain without that, but it doesn't have that trailer brake gauge on it. If you're trailering a heavy trailer, I guess you would like to have that gauge, maybe going downhill or something, and it's only one screen away, so you can quickly go to it. But this screen tells you a lot more about what your vehicle's doing. It shows you on the left there, it shows you your vehicle's pitch. On the right, you see the yaw, and in the center here, you'll see the we're on two-wheel drive, and then it shows you the percentage of up and down on the front end of the truck. When you're braking, you'll see that go up, and when you're accelerating, you'll see it go down. Because that's just how the truck dynamics work. Very cool screen. It's also exceedingly useful off-road. These will start to glow red if you're getting towards your tipping point. Very useful to know. So. And this is the other screen I've been using most often because it's just a simple miles per hour, and then it shows you your cruise control settings when you set them. So it shows you what your cruise is set at, what you're actually driving right now, all that stuff. So this is kind of your everyday highway screen, I guess. I found it useful. It also reads out your MPGs in terms of how well you're doing in being green, I guess. So that's it for the instrument cluster. You can explore. There's more of those menus, little sub-menus in there, but that's the gist of it there. So moving on, this is an actual keyed ignition. Don't see a lot of those anymore in my line of work. Coming over here, the infotainment. I have it on the 70 station because it just seemed to fit this truck. But the infotainment is pretty straightforward. I really like it. If we go to the main menu, whoops, I wanted to go to the main menu, sorry. You can see what it does. This is the top fit package, so it has everything in it. But you see, I've always got the outside temperature and the current time up there. And then all of these are the different things that you can do. So you can stream Pandora, you can check the weather. It reads your text messages to you, and then it has a handful of auto responses you can send back without having to type on your phone. You have your phone right there, nav and audio. This is equipped with satellite radio. You probably saw that. Very nice system. It's actually a lot easier to use than I expected. It's not quite the same as Chevrolet's system. GMC has done a few tweaks to it. I like the Chevy system a little bit better, but it's great. It's very easy to use. It's one of the better ones on the market. I'll tell you that much. And then down here you have your hard controls. So you see I was using this to go to the home screen. This goes to the main menu of whatever section you're in. Here's radio, media. You can eject the CD you have down in here, and so on, volume and whatnot. Then down here we have, let's start over here. Over here we have seat cooling, and then you can have the top part heated or all of it heated. And then same for the passenger over there. And here's your climate controls. This is dual zone, so you have two different climates, and then you can set and do whatever. My bummer with this is that you can't easily just shut things off other than turn everything off. So I can do that and turn everything off, but I can't just say, hey, I just want to vent into the car and do that. It's you have to go through the menus there, and that's an annoyance for me. Now down here you have a whole lot of toggle buttons. This moves the foot pedals back and forth, adjust them for you. You can adjust them to where you want them, and then when you set those memory settings, they will move with it. Over here you have your traction control. When you go into four-wheel drive, that turns off automatically. That's pretty obvious. This is the bed light. So this is your working light for the back of the truck. Here's your parking radar. You can turn that on and off here. Lane keeping, you can turn this on and off. And I'll tell you, this is very cool because in this car, in this truck, when you're wandering over the line, it doesn't beep at you and stuff. Instead, it vibrates the side of the seat that represents the side of the car you're going over. So if you're going over on the right side of the seat vibrates. Kind of neat because it's intuitive. We've seen that before where it does the steering wheel in other models. In GMC, they're doing it in the seat, and both ways. It works the same way. It basically mimics what you would get if you ran over the rumble strips on the highway. And so it's just intuitive for you to know, oh, I'm running it over on the right, I'll move over. And then finally over here you have your hill descent. Then this has, like I said, the upfit package, so it has a bunch of USB ports, a couple of 12-volt ports, and a 110. There are more USB ports in this big boy here. And then you have this drink holder. This drink holder moves, so you have the deep end there, and then you have a more shallow end right here. So you can kind of, I didn't know there's coins in there. So you can kind of see what's, that's what you have for storage. These right here are great. I've been putting my phone in here because it just sets in there and holds it upright. It's big enough that if you have a 10-inch or smaller tablet, it will also fit there. Very kind of, I really like these. Then you have this big boy. This is your armrest, and it has a non-slip center part. And then down inside, you can see it has file hangers, because if you're going to have a truck this expensive, you're going to have files, right? Over here, 2 more USB ports. There is your auxiliary, and here is a SD card slot. This is also good for a tablet or a lot of other things because it's just the right size, and another 12-volt outlet. There's another 12-volt outlet on the back of this console right over here. You can see my thumb right over there. And that's about it. Then you have your European style glove box and your bigger glove box, and this has the Bose stereo system in it. Beautiful, beautiful work. You see the brushed nickel look and the faux wood, and it's just a great combination. Nice leather seating. Very good job. I love the stitching. Very pretty. And these are just sturdy, strong feeling seats. When you sit in them, they feel substantial. So you don't worry that they're going to break apart or anything. You know, you're going to ruin them. The back seat in this is the full crew cab. So the back seat is a big back seat, and it's big enough that I can sit in it without any issues. Very well done. I actually rode back there for a minute, and very nice. I like the way they feel. We've had car seats in them. I've had friends in them. We did some towing in this truck. We also hauled a few home improvement items, and otherwise just drove it around, had a good time. So that's about it. This is the well, there's a sunroof and a few other things, but they're pretty standard. So this has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and we've been in the 2015 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. Very nice truck. This is the true cowboy Cadillac. Really, I don't have anything bad to say about this truck. If you can afford the payment for this thing, this is a great truck to have. If you have, of course, it's meant for certain things, and there are certain things it's not going to be that great at, and certain things it's going to be really good at. It is very cushy, very well built, and it did everything I asked it to do. So, very nicely done. Very good truck. Thank you. And I don't know, I'm kind of rambling at this point, aren't I? Just saying whatever comes to mind because I don't know how to just wrap this up. Hey, all right. Talk to you soon.